just kind of run around and see how she does. I can tell you first off, in my limited experience with the Equus, it's not really a fighter. You know, she does fairly decent damage with her feet, and she can knock stuff out, which is super cool. Her bite attack does something like 22 or 24 or something entirely unimpressive. And she doesn't have a ton of hit points. She has an okay amount of hit points, but not a ton. So basically I will want to avoid as many fights as possible. And actually on our way over here, we got... Come on now. I can't even kill a bug. See, I just knocked out that Dillo. Of course, then I'm going to keep hitting it and it's going to die. It would be helpful if you guys would die before I hurt myself too much being out of stamina. Thanks. Appreciate that. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, it took me multiple hits to take out a bug. Any of my dinos that are my fighter dinos will take out bugs in one hit easily. And then some. But on our way over here, I went to go take a certain path and ran into an Alpha Carno and decided that we were going to take a different path. The cool thing about her, though, is, like, she can run forever, man. She loses almost no stamina when running, which is great. She does lose stamina when attacking, and I think she loses a little bit when jumping, maybe? Not much. But she does have a pretty cool jump. It's not an upwards jump, it's a longwards jump. So she's a long jumper. But yeah, I mean, right now, I need to advance my gear and whatnot and everything. I need to go through and actually build stuff like a fabricator and an industrial forge and the industrial cooker and all that good stuff. And I know that, I have the engrams to do it. I just haven't done. Hey, are you a mate for Simon? You are, but you're too low level. But you look cool. I like that. So I definitely need to do that stuff, but man, it's just not as fun as, you know, running around and checking stuff out. I was a little wary there for a second. I was on the Thyla earlier and ran through just a small pool like this. But it was slightly deeper. Yeah, about this depth. And got through the entire pool, not really looking behind me the whole time. And lo and behold, when I did the stupid stop and jump when you're getting out, even though like the ground was right there and all my Thyla had to do was walk up it, didn't need to stop and jump. But when I got to that stupid stop and jump part, apparently a Baryonyx had been trailing me across the pool, knocked me off my mount. And then stun-locked Rover for a little bit. So I had to get it to aggro me so Rover could unstun-lock and take care of business, which he did as soon as he was not stun-locked anymore. Actually, you know what? Since we're riding around on the horse, we should probably do this. Whoops. Here we go. This. Oh, whoops, I didn't put it on. I put it back on the horse. Good job. Good job. Alright. There we go. Now we're looking a little better for riding our horse around. So it looks like this path dead-ended at the waterfall. We'll have to go and find a different path. In the meantime, I will keep taking on Dillos and the like, because I can't really take on a whole lot else. And it's good for the levels. And we want to level this gal up. I don't want to worry about running around with her and only having, you know, like... Are you a Trudon? Yeah, you are. I wonder how you would do against a Trudon. Let's find out. Gotcha. Kill it. Kill it. Wow, it was level 130. Cool, so I can pick on lots of small dinos with her. Get the tree out of your way there. Alright. I'm super glad I found an Equus that I was able to tame. Again, you know, I've been trying to tame an Equus for a long time. It's one of the things that I wanted the first time I saw it. I thought it would be cool to ride a horse around the Jurassic world that we live in here on the ARK, and you get used to riding a Thyla around and think that you can climb everything, which you can't. Well, unless you're on a Thyla, in which case you can. Come on, come on. Can you find a way up? Find a way up. You can do it. I have faith. Look, look, look. Oh, nope, can't go up there. All right. She does not take reduced fall damage, by the way, so, or at least not that I can tell. So you definitely want to avoid large drops with her. You know, the Thyla, you can drop from the top of the world almost before it takes significant fall damage. I mean, it'll take fall damage. And it can take some... I've had ones where... Ah! Raptor! Don't pounce on my horse, dude. Are you kidding me? Pouncing on me was one thing, but you try to pounce my horse? That's not cool, man. How you doing, Windfall? You alright? Yeah, you're fine. Alright, so again, I know this might not be the most exciting episode for everybody, but I thought this would be kind of cool to like run around and check out the really cool stuff on this map. I mean, the whole map is just gorgeous. Let's make sure our gamma is not up too high. Okay, it's actually below the default. I often run around with the gamma down a little bit below the default or at the default. I don't like to gamma up. It really washes out the colors. And I dig the artwork that they put into this game. So I definitely don't want to detract from it. Alright, back to the path. What? Why aren't you moving? There you go. Quick tip, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but if you dismount right before you land, hopefully close enough to when you land that you don't take a bunch of fall damage, but if you dismount right before you're about to land, then you can keep your mount from taking a massive amount of fall damage, which is handy. There's some raptors over there, so I decided we'd go up and over, and that worked out well for us. See, like, there's a gazillion waterfalls in this map, and I absolutely love waterfalls. And there's just so many of them. It's really, really cool. Follow the river down a little bit. Again, we don't have any rhyme or reason, direction today. We're just riding around, enjoying the fact that we have a horse to ride around with, taking in some scenery, getting some levels. Oh, almost forgot. First off, when you first tame this gal, the Equus, you don't need a saddle. You don't need a saddle to ride it. You could just jump on it bareback. So, no saddle. Still ride it just fine. But, when you get the saddle, or craft the saddle, if you gather up all the spoiled meat off of your carnivore tames, then while you ride around here, getting stuff and soaking in the amazing views. Look at that lake. Especially like with the Dimorphodon flying by it, that's so cool. Go away. I'm trying to take in the views and you guys are bugging me. Bugs. Once you get the saddle and you're riding around, you can eat plants as you run around. It does an okay job harvesting. I mean, it's not a great job, but it's a hell of a lot faster than harvesting by hand. But the cool thing about it is, I've already used up all the spoiled meat I had. So I've crafted 78 narcotic so far on this ride since we left base, which was not that long ago. Actually, let's make that 79. That's the year I was born. All right. So yeah, you know, you can the what was that? I hate that the okay, it was just stemberry seeds. I hate that the inventory, as you're dropping stuff, moves your cursor to a different spot. So, like, if I want to drop, say, this whole row, for instance, which I do, I start dropping the row, and, of course, it's not going to do it right now. Sometimes it doesn't do it if you're on the bottom row and it's all on one screen. But when it gets to the end of a row, it actually will force you up. So if you're clicking super fast, you're going to end up dropping an item that was above the item that you were attempting to drop. And a lot of times you're clicking super fast to drop stuff because you pick up a bunch of crap that you don't need and it slows you down. But you don't, or I personally don't want to turn off the victim harvesting and the other harvesting stuff because it's important to me to get as much stuff as possible and then sort through what I want and what I don't want. You know, I need a lot of stuff, so... actually, we're going to get into our full-on cowboy outfit now because we're cold. So you guys will like this. Check this out. Oh, I need to put it on me first. Alright. I'll give you the hat. Switch to me. Give you the armor. All right, and here we are in our full-on cowboy gear. Whoa, full-on cowboy gear, all leather, baby. Hide armor, all leather. Hide armor and a cowboy hat. Now, one thing I do need to do, I went ahead and got the obsidian. I think I tossed it on, I want to say that I tossed it on Rover, and then I did bring Rover back to our lakeside base. And I need to make scissors and cut my hair, especially now that I have an actual hairdo, the romantic hairdo and romantic beard that I got from apparently opening up 80% of the map. So if you guys are looking to get some... Wow, this is like the bug army. Look at this. Oh my god. So many of you. Once I unlocked that 80% of the map and I got a romantic hairdo and a romantic beard option, and so I can't wait to see what those look like. So we're gonna go cut our hair at some point and use those new options that we got. Oh, actually, we're wrapping around here back towards the base. So we'll actually head to the base right now then. I'm really, really excited again about this mount. And gosh, this map is just so gorgeous. I've thought about building a base up in the snow. I don't think I'm going to though this time. I have the base on the island that's like right next to the snow, and it gets cold there. Cold to the point where like every time I fly over there, I'm like, I've got the cold warning meter. Thank you, Mr. Stego, or Mrs. Stego. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you taking care of that before I got over here, so I didn't have to have any part in this. But, Karna would have kicked my butt. And I'm sorry to leave you on your own to take... Actually, here, I'll help you out. Who's hitting me? What's... I'm afraid I'm gonna hit the stego. Here we go. Now I won't hit the stego. Bye-bye. No! Don't attack my horse. Oh man, so I spent all that metal crafting, that reminds me, actually, I need to do this right now. I spent all that metal crafting, the shotgun shells, and I was so excited that I had so many shotgun shells, and I had like 200 and something, and it was so cool. I'm so excited, and I'm running around with like 120 of them on me or whatever. And then I ran into a Pago, and the Pago stole 100 shotgun shells. Not only did it steal 100 shotgun shells, but we were already fighting other stuff, and the Pago got away, and I couldn't find the Pago, so I couldn't get the little satchel from it that had my 100 shotgun shells. So it literally stole 100 shotgun shells from me. I was really, really unhappy about that because they're not cheap to make. I mean, there's not a lot that's cheap to make in this game. This game, a lot of the stuff that you do make, that you need to make, that you want to make, it all takes a fair bit of grinding. I'm really glad that I have my harvesting rates set up a little bit. They're not set up super high either, though. But they're up a little bit, which makes it much easier to build stuff. I might even up them higher at some point, but I'm thinking really about doing an entirely new gameplay where we have much lower settings on the tame dino stuff, like maybe all default settings, except for the hatching, maturation, mating, and taming and harvesting. Because and my XP bonus, I only had it at like 1.5, I believe, 1.5. And with the XP bonus, like I got level 100 really easily. So I don't know that like I want to keep that. I like challenges. And then I slightly adjusted the gains per level for the tame dinos because I don't know about you, but when I see that setting, when I'm going to mess around with the settings and I see that setting and you see 1, 1, 1, and then your gains per level for melee, hit points, a whole bunch of other stuff is like 0.14, 0.17, etc., etc. Like, I totally was like, no, that's not cool. And I looked online, and there were multiple people liking a post on Reddit where someone posted their single-player settings, and basically they raised everything that was 0.17 to 0.25. They raised everything that was 0.14 to 0.19. They raised everything that was like 0.22 to 0.3 or something, and 0.4, whatever the 0.41 was, they raised to 0.6. And so I've copied his settings, and it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, how easy it is to kill max level dinos when you have a tame that you've put a ton of levels into. And I don't really particularly like that. I really enjoy challenges in video games. I'm not one of those people that goes looking for cheat codes or this or that. Like, it's okay if I die. My name is Sir Spawns-a-Lot. I die in lots of video games. I'm not the greatest video game player. I just have fun playing them. But I have fun because they're challenging. I don't have fun because they're super easy, and I feel good because I beat a game that I hardly had to put any effort into. This game is definitely not like that, even now. And I changed the settings off of what he recommended before we came over here, and I brought over a Thyla that had not leveled up at all before I came over here. I tamed it, and I breeded it, and then I brought it over here, and I did all the level ups. That's not true. I think I did do like 4 or 5 level ups on my way to the obelisk. My bad. But I did change the settings on the Valguero one to be a little lower than they were over there on the island. Apparently not low enough because I still find it pretty easy with my Thyla. Maybe that's just because it's a Thyla. That could be. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of easy video games. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for today's video. I'm going to hatch up a bunch of Deinonychus today because I've been collecting eggs like nobody's business. And I'm going to leave this pack here, and I'm going to take a new pack. A whole pack of just babies. We're going to breed them, or hatch them up, imprint them, and then see where they're at. But I'm going to take a whole pack to the new base. I think they would have fun. The new base, by the way, I'm not going to give away exactly its location, but it is in the Redwoods. And I think these guys would just have a blast ripping everything apart in the Redwoods, because there's a lot of stuff to rip apart. And so yeah, we've got, let's see, we've got 4 eggs on Louise, and we've got 10, 12, 14, 15, 20 eggs total. We have 20 Deinonychus eggs. Oh my goodness. We're gonna actually take a couple of the low-level ones. It's sad because there's 2 low-level ones that I specifically got because of the colors. They were wild ones, and the low-level Deinonychus, I think it was a 50. I think one of them was a 50, and the other one was 25. I want to say, not 20, but 25. So if we find a 50 and a 25, all right, so I got a bunch of really cool eggs, like level-wise, and then we also have some that we bred up ourselves. But I need to make some more kibble. I tried to make 3 of each of the kibbles, and some of them require a lot of extra stuff, like you have to make other stuff before you make the kibble that you can use for making the kibble, like jerky. So I put some more prime meat or cooked prime meat in the refrigerator, some more cooked meat in the refrigerator, some more oil and spark powder in the refrigerator, so that we could have some jerky going while we were building the new base. Hopefully there's enough jerky now where we can get a few more kibble of each type. I have a few eggs of just about each type that I've stolen from various things as I've been running around. Plus Creamsicle has been nice enough to drop us a couple of eggs. Artemis has dropped a couple of eggs. For some reason, the Deinonychus don't drop eggs, or unfertilized ones, or at least not that I can tell. I haven't ever like ran by here and seen eggs underneath them. And I'm not sure what that is, because almost everything else, the females of each species drop eggs. I've got a ton of Pteranodon eggs that I was collecting from C1PO before I moved her off the base to the new location. So yeah, we've got lots of eggs that we can make kibbles with, and I kind of want to mess around. You know, as you're progressing through the game, and when you make your cooking pod, and when you're getting little messages in the very beginning when you're starting out in the game, it kind of gives you some clues on custom recipes. Now, in the beginning settings, I had a setting, or there is a setting about crafting skill, and how it affects recipes and whatnot. So I think what we'll end up doing is seeing if we have the stuff to make a Mind Wipe tonic, and then drinking the Mind Wipe tonic, and then putting all of our stuff into crafting skill, and then drinking the Mind Wipe tonic again and putting it back in everything else, so that we can make some recipes using the Mind Wipe, or using the crafting skill like super high. And also I don't see any difference when I'm crafting an actual item itself off a blueprint. I'm assuming that the blueprint is what determines the strength of the item at that point, but that the crafting skill determines the strength of an item that you're custom making, like a recipe or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and see if we can get all set up for that. And then I'll bring you guys back when I go to do that, because I think that might be kind of cool to do together. Check out different custom recipes and see what the different items do when you're making a custom recipe. Like some of them are pretty self-explanatory. Like I'd assume that food gives you health, like eggs or meats. I'd assume that stem berries give you stamina or something of the like, but maybe take away your water, because that's what they do when you eat them. I'm not really sure. Everything is going to be new to me. Again, I do watch YouTube videos of ARK, but I usually only watch YouTube videos of ARK for stuff that I've already done myself, because I don't want to spoil the game for myself. I like to figure things out. I'm kind of one of those people where I love mysteries. I love analyzing things. I love trying a bunch of different ways to do something and then figuring out what works best and the like. So I don't like to go in already knowing everything. So I try to avoid YouTube videos where I haven't done that specific thing already. Like I was actually watching somebody's YouTube video on stealing Deinonychus eggs, and I was thinking to myself, like, wow, I feel videos on taming the Equus, and that's actually how I ended up taming the Equus. It's because I had constantly been looking for the text to show up in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, but I was also paying very close attention to where I was going, and that detracts from looking at the right hand bottom of the screen for when that cyan text shows up. And this person, when they were doing their video on the Equus, they were talking about how you push the feed button when the horse tries to buck. So as soon as the horse kicks its back feet, you push the... like it has a little animation where it like stops running for a second and then starts to kick up its back feet. And that's when you push the button, because that's when the cyan text is coming up. So I started doing that, and that's how I got Windfall. So, you know, sometimes watching a YouTube video is really, really helpful for me. By the way, speaking of YouTube videos, there's a couple people that I'd like to shout out really quick, because when I do finish a particular objective of mine, I do like to look to see how other people do that same objective that I'm trying to do, or that I did, and see, you know, like what their thoughts were and how they did it and what was different from how I did it and which parts were better or worse. And there are two people in particular that I am thoroughly enjoying their videos. One is Flinger Foo. Flinger is with a PH. Foo is also with a PH. This guy is super smart, super informative, really funny, and incredibly family friendly. And that's one of the things that I like most about him. The other guy that I've been watching is Royale with Cheese. Also, really funny guy, has a lot of really great videos out there. Not as family friendly. I wouldn't recommend that if you have a kid under the age of 12 or 13 that they watch Royale with Cheese. He has a lot of, let's say, more risque content than Flinger Foo. I highly recommend both of them, though. Royale with Cheese has some really great humor in his videos, and he plays very similar to the way that I do. Like I do create taming pens. I will use taming pens, but for the most part, I like to run around and like use natural environments to stay out of reach of dinos that I'm trying to tame, that are trying to hurt me. He does it the same way. He could also be a Sir Spawns-a-Lot. He dies often, and he has fun doing it, and that's what the game is about. And that's what I really enjoy about the game. So if you have you know, older kids like 16, 17, or you yourself are 16, 17 and up, and you're looking for a good content creator for ARK, Royale with Cheese is a good way to go. For all family-friendly stuff, and also really great humor and super informative, then check out Flinger Foo, both with PHs. I really, really enjoy both of those guys, and I really, really suggest that you check them out. Anyway, that's going to be it for right now. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'm going to get to hatching. All right. See you guys later.